The legal battle over the president's deployment of the National Guard in response to protests in California heads to a federal appeals court today. It comes just a week after a federal judge issued a temporary order that would have blocked Trump's deployment and gave control of the troops back to Governor Gavin Newsom. But after an appeal by the Trump administration, an appeals court panel has issued a stay of the order. That panel of judges now set for a hearing on the matter this afternoon. And a Georgia man is facing federal charges after the Department of Justice says he made violent threats against two U.S. senators and one of their families. Robert Forney is accused of leaving threatening voicemails for Senator Ted Cruz of Texas and Senator Deb Fischer of Nebraska back in January. Forney appeared in court this week after a grand jury indicted him last week. And that man accused of killing a Democratic Minnesota state representative and her husband remains behind bars today. The couple's children say they are devastated and they're heartbroken. Here's ABC's Olivia Rubin.
Today, new details emerging in the shooting of two lawmakers in Minnesota, what officials have called political assassinations.
We have an arrest warrant.
Authorities arresting 57-year-old Vance Bolter after a two-day manhunt. Wendy Thomas now describing the moment she spotted Bolter and called the police.
When he got to the culvert, he squatted. And so I was like, that's Dad, that's somebody. He said, hang up and call somebody.
Bolter now facing federal and state charges, including murder, stalking, and firearms charges. He has not yet entered a plea. Officials say he was carrying a target list of 45 lawmakers, nearly all of them Democrats. Bolter accused of shooting two of those lawmakers and their spouses at their homes, one couple fatally. Officials say he first went to the home of State Senator John Hoffman, shooting him and his wife, then continuing to State Representative Melissa Hortman's home, shooting and killing her and her husband before fleeing on foot.
It is no exaggeration to say that his crimes are the stuff of nightmares.
New images released from the crime scene showing who authorities believe is Bolter wearing a latex face mask the night of the shootings, the guns found in his car. Officials saying Bolter planned these attacks carefully, taking, quote, deliberate steps to research his victims. Documents showing Bolter texted his family the morning of the shootings, writing, quote, Dad went to war last night. Monday night, the Brooklyn Park community coming together for a vigil. Neighbors and good friends of the lawmakers also gathering.
He was courageous enough that when the perpetrator tried to get into his home, John recognized it, and he physically tried to defend his family. You don't see that a lot.
Hortman's children have released a new statement saying, quote, this tragedy must become a moment for us to come together. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.